Our staff's done a great job. I think it clearly shows up on film that we've signed some players that we expect to make a big impact here, and that's like I said, a big compliment to our staff. And I've said from day one that one person is not going to get done what we need to get done here at Youngstown. Our staff went out. We had 3 recruiting weekends. We had a lot of help from our administration, and Ron Strollo has given us a product that's easy to sell, and that's a compliment to everybody here at Youngstown State. And I think it shows up when you evaluate the quality of players that we have. Just talking about each guy a little bit, you look at Nate Adams. That was the first guy that you saw there in film. Nate's a tight end from Newark Catholic. It's actually Coach Montgomery's alma mater, but he actually measured almost 6'5", and he weighs 225 pounds right now. And I think he's that pass catching type tight end that can really stretch a defense. He's going to grow. He plays on a #1 ranked basketball team here in the state, and he's got a very bright future here. I really enjoyed his visit here, and we're excited to have him. Patrick Angles, the other quarterback that we signed. Patrick's going to be playing in that North-South game. We had a coach here in state that we think a lot of tell us that he feels like he was the best quarterback in the state. And you guys only got to see about 5 or 6 clips. Go to YouTube and pull up Patrick Angle, and you'll see very clearly that he's a special player, and we're excited to have him here. And I think he can make an early impact here in his career. You're looking at the Boatwright kid out of Largo, Florida. We went down and got him, and he's at Largo High School. It's a school that gets a little bit under-recruited, and late in the game we got lucky that we were able to snatch him up. He had got dropped by a couple schools, and we were there at the right time, the right place. His family came up here and spent the weekend with us, and I think his mom and his aunt were really impressed with what Youngstown had to offer. They're impressed with the facilities. We're sitting there at breakfast on a Saturday morning, and we got the deans of every school, of our school here, representing our university, and those are the kind of things that make statements about what Youngstown State has to offer. You look at the Cheaib kid. He's another kid that we got out of Florida down there. He's a linebacker, and I think the thing that clearly stands out when you watch his film there, you guys got to see 5 or 6 clips because we kept it short. But every time he hits somebody, he knocks them back. He plays downhill. He's a downhill linebacker, and when he hits people, he knocks them back. And that's something that Coach Kravitz and I talk about a lot. We want linebackers can run. We want guys that can knock people back, and we're obviously excited to have him. And so those 2 kids we got there out of Florida, we feel really strongly about. The next kid's a local guy. He was our first Mooney commit, Donald DeLisio, and his family's important to him. Donald could have went to a lot of other schools. He could have went and played in the Mountain West Conference and on a bowl team. And he decided he wanted to stay here and bring some of those traditions that he learned over there at Mooney over here to our program. And I feel like that's something that we need to do early on in this recruiting process, is get back into some of these local schools. And Donald's a guy, for example, he's lost 5 football games in his career. So he expects to win. He knows how to win. He understands that kind of commitment. And those are the kind of people that we want around us. And we expect big things from Donald. He's a corner, and we'll expect him to come in and camp and compete for a job at an early age. Next kid's the Chris Elkins kid. He's out of Beaver Falls. He's a kid that we fell in love with right off the bat when we watched him on film. He's a mobile guy. He's going to fill out. He's a little bit light right now. He's probably 265, 270 pounds, but he's going to grow. He has a lot of growth potential. He loves the game of football. Football is important to him. He's also serious about his education, and family's important to him. He wanted his family to be around and see him play, and we're excited to have him. And I think that for us to go over there into Western Pennsylvania and get a player of his caliber was a compliment to our coaching staff, but also that's an area that we want to be strong in. That's a local area for us, and we want it to be that way. Next guy is Eric Franklin. Eric's a guy from Mooney High School. Eric had several opportunities to go to a lot of places. He's probably one of the highest profile guys we have in this recruiting class. And Eric decided that he wanted to have the right support system around them. And it's more than just coaches. Eric talked about the impression that our Marilyn Aruba, our academic person, made on him about her support system she has in place for our students here. And those are the kind of things that make a difference in these recruiting decisions. He could have went to a Big Ten school. He could have went to a Big East school. He could have went a lot of different places. But at the end of the day, he knew it was about being happy, and he knew his best chance of being happy was here at Youngstown State. So we're obviously excited about Eric. He's probably the biggest player we signed, and his weight's a little bit off there. He's not 310 pounds, but I won't tell you exactly what his weight is. But I tell you this, Alan Jones will be glad to be running behind him. Alan's a local guy. He was our first commitment. He's obviously from Ursuline High School, and he's our first player that we have on our roster from Ursuline High School. And he surely will not be our last. I can guarantee you that. But he had 64 touchdowns. And I told him all I want is 60 from him here. So if he can get 60 here, we'll be in pretty good shape. But Alan's a guy that was kind of a leader of this recruiting class, rounding guys up here locally, staying on them, staying persistent. And Alan's the type of kid that came out and had other opportunities to go to a lot of other good schools, but he came out and made a statement that he was going to stay home and be a part of something special. And he took charge of this recruiting class, him and Donald, and those guys put together a pretty good class from their end. So I always tell them I'm going to hire him as a recruiting coordinator one day. Dan Kopp will be looking for a job, so we have to give Dan a hard time about that. Next guy we got Zach Larson from Mooney. Zach and Eric Franklin obviously played together, and Donald. And Zach's another one of those guys that understands winning. He's a guy that's going to play inside for us. He'll be a guard. He's an overachiever type guy. He works hard. He's got a great personality. He's got a sense of humor. He has balance. And the thing that excites me about Zach is Zach really wanted to be at Youngstown State. He made that clear. He had other options to go to MAC schools and those type of things. And he just realized that he felt like being a part of something special was a big deal to him. He was attracted to the fact that he knew that he could play with some teammates here. And, these guys from Mooney and these guys from Ursuline and these other local areas have always talked about if they could ever play on the same team, they'd have a chance to do something special. And I said, well, why can't we do that here? Why can't we get some of these guys, and you guys from Ursuline and Mooney, let's all play here together, and let's make a run at it. And we're excited to have Zach here, and he'll do some great things here. Next guy we got is Meiko Locksley. Meiko's a guy that was at Centennial High School in Champaign for the majority of his career, and then he transferred out to New Mexico with his father. His father's the head coach at New Mexico. Meiko's a guy that I've had a chance to watch and grow up the last probably 4 years, and he's a guy that's a quarterback that can do all the things that we need him to do. He can make all the throws. He can run the ball, and he's a coach's kid. And one thing I enjoy about coaches' kids is they understand the commitment that it takes on and off the field. He understands what it's like to live the quarterback life, and it takes a special commitment to play that position. Meiko understands that, and I also know that if I have a problem, I can call his dad, and he'll probably be taken care of in about 2 seconds. So I expect Meiko to have a great career here and come in, and he's here this spring. He'll compete this spring and make a run at the job this fall.